Thanks for stopping by my channel today. It's Kristin. I wanted to share with you the card that I'm going to be making for Craft Roulette, episode 273. The parameters were a lady's card, candy wrapper colors, the element is camp, camps, or camping, and the random is belts. Yeah, at first thought, those are going together interesting, right? Camping and belts. I'm sure there could be some correlations there made if one thinks hard enough about it. And to combine it with a lady's card. Well, that's interesting. The color parameter, I don't usually have a problem with those lately because, wow, if just a search on the internet, you get all kinds of information, so I can always find a way to sneak that in and make that work. Well, in looking at the candy wrapper colors, and based on some other things, which you get a sneaky peek here, I went with a Cadbury candy bar, such as, like, I think it's called Dark Milk, the purple, and of course all the different shades of browns. That seemed pretty appealing, so I'm going to go with that. I'm also going to hopefully do my best to turn this into a belated birthday card from my mother. So I thought if I could combine the parameters for this week's Craft Roulette, as well as the birthday card that I'm needing, I might come up with something quite interesting. And of course, a card that I probably would not have even thought to have made, except for Craft Roulette. Well, since I knew I was probably going to color, wasn't sure if alcohol markers or go with my watercolor pencils that I've been loving lately. So I used this jet black ink pad. Right on the front, it tells you that it's alcohol marker friendly, but upon reading the back, it does say acid free, archival and fade resistant, as well as waterproof and fast drying and permanent. Well, that's exactly what I need for coloring with my watercolor pencils. Whether I add water or not, waterproof is always good. So I went with that, and I have done it before. As long as you let it dry enough, you can use some watercolor pencils and a light wash of water over it, and it won't smear. Now, I went with products from the Stamps of Life in order to make my card. For the camping parameter, I went with s'mores. Because generally when you camp, you want s'mores, from what I understand, since I'm not a camping aficionado. So I took my pieces of the s'more. I didn't use the chocolate drips this time, and I went with on the front, you are appreciated more than you know. I thought that'd be a good way to show Mom some appreciation, and on the inside of the card I can make sure to put a happy birthday phrase. I also thought this one might be a great opportunity, since I needed a belt parameter, to bring out this older fold-itclub set. Unfortunately, because it is past February 2024, it is no longer currently available on the Stamps of Life website. This was exclusive to the fold-itclub at the time. However, you may be able to find someone selling this on a resale site. There is one that I like to look at through Facebook. I'll see if I can link it below for you. They're really good. Some people selling new things, some people selling slightly used things, especially some of the older sets, and sometimes you might even find some more of the newer sets. It's a great little Facebook club to belong to, and I've had nothing but good luck. Knock on some tempered glass desktop. Good luck in regards to getting my product and working with some wonderful ladies over there who are selling their products. Just an FYI, of course, when you do read the rules for that group, they do recommend buying and selling through PayPal. You do not necessarily have to have a PayPal account in order to buy, but they will send you an invoice through PayPal. So I liked this overall set. I've had it, I've loved it, and used it. Well, Craft Roulette is a great opportunity to use those sets in your stash. So I did. I cut out a whole bunch of pieces. That's the inspiration photo. Here's the die set, and this Fold-It Club does come with 2 stencils. I'm not going to be using the stencils on this particular project. I just wanted to use all the dies. Since die cutting is one of my favorite things. But just some other examples. Now this white splatter on this one I might end up doing at the end. I'm just going to keep that in mind. But just how neat you can make all the different stuff. Plus the Stamps of Life gallery on their website has some other amazing examples as well, especially color combos. Very inspiring there. Whole bunch of dies. Used quite a lot there. I have the background here, but these little things become pockets. Here's my belt. I did cut this all out of craft colored cardstock. I think since these are accent pieces, I'm going to probably ink blend on them just to make them a little bit darker, so it would almost seem like a coordinated fabric with the overalls. Wasn't sure if I was going to add a pocket or not. That's what the heart and the pocket shape are for. Turns out no, but I'll save those. These are the cuffs down at the bottom. I thought, when you roll them up, it would give another underside to the fabric, so I might do something with that. This is just a detail that might go on the cuff. I cut them out, but I don't think I'm going to end up using them either. I did cut out some spare toppers to the overalls. I thought, well, sometimes when you think about overalls, especially if they are kid-like or for a lady who might say garden. My mom does not garden, but would she put on overalls to eat some chocolate? Yeah. Kind of like an apron? Yeah. Sounds good. So the little toppers, it did cut out like the little rivet for those. I think since I did them double, I have the original as well as the extra piece I cut. I'll layer them on top of each other just to make it just a teeniest bit thicker. And I'll probably color those. I bet you I got something in my stash, like a marker to... I don't know if I want to find like a gold color, a copper color, because I know I just picked up some new metallic inks that this would be fabulous to try for. Okay. Sometimes on my die set, just wanted to give you a neat little tip. I've been finding, putting Post-it notes on the sets of neat little things that I come across, so this way they could become double duty dies. Well, as I was cutting away a portion of it, this was the negative leftover piece, and I tore off some of the edges, but doesn't that look like a little top hat? So I wrote myself a note as a reminder, and I'll probably even put this note in with when I catalog all my pieces, just so I know that if I am looking for a top hat down the road, hey, this might be an option in case I don't have a top hat already in my stash. So fun little side note. Again, here's those cute little stencils, especially if we needed like if sewing came up again, you'd have some buttons. That would be fun. Okay, so here's what I did. I'm going to color this in and then I'll come back at you. But again, here's that craft background. I used all the stamps, like here's the chocolate bar, here's the lovely appreciation stamp right in the middle, kind of as if it were a pocket. I'm gonna go with the flow here and say that this would be like embroidered on there. Go with me here, okay? Graham crackers and the marshmallow. I think once they get colored up, you'll see I'm going to make them stand out just a little bit more, but not over the top. And to go with that Cadbury color wrapper for the candy bar wrapper, I thought putting it on a purple would be kind of fun. Plus, I do think Mom does like purple. Is she possibly Team Purple? I will have to find this out. Inquiring minds might want to know. But it wasn't quite the exact purple of the Cadbury bar, so one of two things. One, just leave it, go with it. Or I might just ink around the edges to make a little darker purple, add a little whimsy, if you will, and maybe that might get it close. But either way, it does go pretty well together. I might make a second one in case anybody likes s'mores that is Team Orange. Because wouldn't a nice orange one go great? And then you'd have Reese's peanut butter cups. Oh, Bonus card? Maybe. So I'll come back at you to give you a finished look after some coloring, and so you can see the final product and when I start gluing all the pieces together. See you soon. Hello, and I'm back. Okay, quick little update. Isn't it adorable? I used some colored pencils in my stash from Stampin' Up. This was a white one, this was Early Espresso, and this was Crushed Curry, which is like a yellow ochre type kind of color. And I did throw in just a little bit of Early Espresso to give a little shading to the yellow. It's probably not as noticeable, but just to give a little contrast to the graham crackers. And for the belt, I think I'm going to put that on the inside of the card. Now, with these fold-its, sometimes it's just, well, excuse me, they don't always have just like a simple die that could cut the inside. This one is fairly simple compared to some others. There's not a lot of other score lines, other small cut lines that are in here. So it probably wouldn't be too bad to cut just to make the inside portion. I'm going to use white, but I don't want necessarily all the little pieces, even though I'm going to glue them down. I may not want to do that. I may. So what I do is I like to take the die. This one is fairly symmetrical, so I don't necessarily have to place it blade side down. But I just take a pencil, I trace around it, and then I'll cut this out. If it's not perfect, that's okay. It's just the inside portion of the card. I just need to get it better than horrible. I'm sure some of you crafters know where that's from. So I'll catch up with you here just in a little bit as soon as I get this all cut out. Okay, went ahead, traced that, cut that out, and also inked around the edges. And then I realized, I put it on a regular card base. This is an A2 card base, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Really cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored it at 5 1/2. And this is what I would normally do if I was keeping the shaped card. I didn't necessarily probably have to do it for the regular inside of a card. As you can see, that's where we're going to put my s'more overall topper on. I liked how it looked like the candy bar wrapper of the candy bar I was portraying, but I went ahead and kept it because I needed the belt element. This is a die that comes in the set, so you could very well add a belt to your overalls. And I could have done that on mine, but the belt just covered up some of the sentiment that I put on there instead. So I didn't really want to cover up that. So that's what we did. And yeah, I'm using a leftover piece of paper. Well, that's okay. Mom knows that pink is my favorite color, so she will forgive me. And in fact, she'll never know. That'll be our little secret. Okay, so the inside's done. That's the belt. And let's start gluing in. You probably don't want to watch me glue everything, so I'll speed this up, give you a little music while I go ahead and do this. And I will see you shortly, and we can parameter check. Hope you enjoyed those groovy tunes. Okay, let us parameter check, shall we? Okay, we had a lady's card. Well, I'm giving this to a lovely lady, so I think that counts. Check. Candy wrapper colors. I went with the Cadbury candy bar in dark milk. So it had dark purples. I think black is, depending on the lighting, you could see some black in the wrapper. And it also had, of course, the very caramely and milk chocolatey type colors in it. So checky, 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 check. And white writing on the label, so check. For the camps or camping type parameter, well, I went with s'mores. So maybe a little stretch on the brain, but often people, when they camp, have s'mores. So I'm calling that a check. As well as belts. Well, may not be on the outside, but it is on the inside. So check there. Okay. I don't know if I'll come back. I mean, I do have my little smoothie here, so maybe I'll put some jemmies in there. Maybe I'll find some white ones or some coppery ones. Not real sure just yet. But who knows? Maybe, who knows? Maybe a little splatter. But I'll figure it out before the final presentation to Mom. I'd like to thank you all for stopping by. If you have any questions about the card or any of the products that I used or how I may have stretched my brain on a perimeter, do let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And until the next one, bye!